I'm in love with Rachel Yabra. You know, I just keep leaving messages for my future self, so we're just gonna do it now too. Even though it's like, it's okay. Today was a weird day. I got a massage yesterday, and I got sat by the water for a minute, and then I got a motorcycle ride home. And the guy's picture was not him, but he got me to my destination safely, so shout out to my king. And I came back. I was just like super tired. Well, actually, I was like trying to not use technology and just be like destimulated. So I think I journaled for a minute, or I was meditating, and then I just kind of laid down, and then I fell asleep, and I woke up at like 11 p.m. and I was like, let me go back to sleep. And then I was in bed for like a little less than an hour, and I was just like, I don't even really want to go back to sleep. And then I heard this reading, and the woman Natija was like, sometimes you just want to be up late, and spirit keeps you up because it puts you in a more vulnerable state to where you're more receptive. And sometimes you just need to be in that state of vulnerability and receptivity to like get the messages that you need. So at first I was like I should be asleep, but I was cooking and I was like kind of feeling bad. I was like, let me listen to a reading and cook. And so it was nice to feel affirmed. I made a delicious meal. It was white rice, green beans with mushrooms, and then sweet potatoes with garlic, onions, and green peppers. It was so fucking good. I added a little bit too much salt. I'm using this Himalayan salt. I feel like I don't know how much to use. Like, it's always like too much or too little. Getting besides myself. I shortly fall asleep after that meal. Actually, I wrote a little bit. And abundance theory is a big challenge for me because I am so in a dimension that I have not that a lot of people don't get to experience. I am in a dimension which a lot of people don't get to experience. And I want to make this freedom that I feel normal. I want it to be so fucking normal that feels like I'm fighting everything that is currently. And so I get kind of down on myself because it's making me emotional. I feel like I'm fighting so much, and it scares me. But I'm also just so fucking excited because I know that there's other people that are excited to embark into this world. Like, I know that for a fact. Like, they're all around me. They're on my algorithm. They're the people that I randomly meet all over the fucking world. They're my friends, my family somewhat. And I'm really doing it for us. But the thing about this reality that I'm writing about, it already exists. Because when I was talking about the hardship that is, it feels like I'm fighting so much. I almost wanted to say I'm creating a universe that doesn't exist. This shit already fucking exists. I'm just fucking using my body, my throat as a bridge, my fingers, my words as a bridge of these realities. And it's really just me revealing what God already is. Like, this shit already is. And that is the most humbling part. And it's like there's really nothing to even fight against. Like, the shit already is. And it's easier now for me to remember this truth, God's infiniteness, and that all that is coming already is. And it brings me so much peace, and still I just have these moments where I forget this and I get really down on myself, and I want to avoid, because I feel like I'm doing something so hard even though I'm really doing something so easy. I'm just describing a place that I've been to and that I'm going to, and it's really just beautiful. Alhamdulillah. So also, just while we're being vulnerable, yesterday I did a reading with these new cards that I bought from La Platanica, even though that's not what they're called here. I don't know what they're called here. But it was like a voodoo shop, and I got these cards, and I don't even know what you would call them. It's kind of more like an oracle deck. It's not tarot. And I did a reading. The first card I dropped was Magic and Spells, number 4. And then I dropped damn, I feel like I'm forgetting one of the cards. I dropped Marriage, a man's interior, and it was like referring to his pants, I guess. I don't know. I forgot and lost love. There was another card. It was one that was more negative. I don't know, negative is a strong word, but just one where I'm like, maybe it's now I'm just too curious. Anyway, that was what I read right before I took my nap. And then when I was napping, I had this dream with like Allie and vices and temptations and stubbornness. That's why I even wanted to bring this up. Okay, I remember now. So like I was saying about abundance theory, I love how my mind is just everywhere and just everything. Like I was saying about abundance theory is I feel like I'm fighting so much, and that is what pulls me back. It gets me down, but I'm really not fighting anything. Like, it's all just illusions. That's really just the truth of it. There is nothing to fight against. When I think back to when I was like 18 and really like, okay, I'm gonna be a revolutionary artist, I have to break the fucking system, I have to be like Angela Davis, I have to write about it and like get a good job in a university and inspire other young. No, fuck that. I'm not doing that shit. I refuse to follow anybody's path, because that's not even the world that I want. I don't want the world of academia that upholds violence in so many ways. I'm releasing that to the past, and that's something I've experienced, and it's beautiful. Academia, I love learning, but the tradition of academia as it stands is just fucking stupid, and I refuse to be a part of that. I refuse to see my future as linear or one directional. Niggas are always like, you're so smart, you should just do this. Because I am smart, bitch, I get to do whatever the fuck I want. And y'all, whenever you're watching this, I'm so happy for you. I know you're doing something amazing. I know you're experiencing abundance through that. And just congratulations. I love you. Be so proud of yourself. Like, we made it so fucking far. And we're just dying and being reborn and recreated all the time in our image, in God's image. And life is just awesome. But I wanted to bring up this stubbornness that I feel sometimes. Because I felt as though the message was saying, like, yeah, like, really, I do be like, I want to get married and I want to be non-monogamous. I can have it all. It's my life. I get what I want. And with that, however, I do not want to feel incomplete of myself in any way, shape, or form. I do not want to feel like I need to avoid absolutely anything, period, and especially not in myself when I meet my partner. I want to just love myself so radically, and like, I know I'm like damn near there, but I think the way in which I be feeling like I'm fighting sometimes, even though, like I said, I had this revelation that I'm not fighting, it's really just illusions, and like bringing clarity and being the bridge. Nevertheless, I think it's like once I really sit in this feeling of resistance and just really release that is when I will be ready for my divine counterparts and lovers. Because the first, I told you I dropped magic and spells, and it shows like a candle, and I was like, resonating. I just bought a black candle over there. It's against the wall, so you can't see it, but bought a candle yesterday. And then it was also it said vices and stubbornness. But when I first translated vices, I think it said temptations. And I'm just like, I'm not smoking weed. I drank a little bit during Carnival Week, which was like last week, and it was really just for the vibes. Like, and I don't drink a lot. And there's nothing wrong with substances. This is something that I know for a fact. Even if I was smoking weed, there's nothing wrong with smoking weed. It's the matter of not abusing things to fucking love myself. I can't use things to escape myself or avoid any aspects of myself. And the reason why this is resonating is because the two words, I was like, how are these even related at first? Vices and stubbornness. And it just made me think about like being so headstrong about something, trying to control, when really like everything already is. Everything is just perfect. And that's the realization. The more I meditate lately, I just keep getting the message of just like, sit down, slow down. Everything is fine. Everything is fine. Everything is working in my highest favor. I really don't have to do anything. And I've been writing recently in Abundance Theory about femininity and like the need to really like respect femininity widely in our culture, and if the ramifications of that in terms of economies, which is so fucking complex, because if humanity really respects femininity, like everything is healed, in my opinion. And no, I honestly know this because I was reading a Bible verse that I said I wanted to put in Abundance Theory, and it's when I think it's when God was giving Adam his like chore or whatever for the big sin. And it says something along the lines of, man is to subdue the earth and replenish it. When I was reading this last year, I was just kind of analyzing about how the connotation of subdue, and in terms of private property, and it means to dominate. But that word replenish just stood out to me so boldly because I was also reading the Tao. And we're going to connect all this back. Stubbornness. Don't forget, Rachel. I was reading the Tao, and it says, no man cleave to woman. And knowledge is such a interesting thing, but really it's talking about femininity and masculine energies. You could reinterpret that as no knowledge, cleave to wisdom. No action, cleave to inaction. No control, cleave to nurturance. And when I was reading that verse, subdue the earth, replenish it, it just like was like, Like, if God put Earth in our domain, it's not just to dominate, it's to also replenish. That is the masculine and the feminine. There must be a balance of the two in order to have three. 1, 2 leads to 3. And 3 is all about creativity, expansion, innovation, harmony, communication. 3 is also like the divine trinity. It can represent divinity as well. And just thinking about the power in this balance and how this world that I am entering knows this balance intimately, and when there is an awareness, which we get through knowing, and then to take awareness and not get stuck on it, not become attached to knowledge, but to still cleave to femininity, cleave to nurturance, cleave to wisdom. That is peace. That is heaven on earth. That is balance. That's what balance is. God is perfect, and to just look at the universe, look at how nature functions, and recognize how everything is so perfectly balanced and in sync. It's just like a revelation of what these principles, the outcome of listening to these principles. And so I was just thinking about this in terms of stubbornness and vices, and I feel like in the regards in which I feel stubborn, it's me trying to, sometimes I still feel a stubbornness especially when I get on social media, which is why I'm very grateful to myself for staying off of it often. I'm not always off, but it's just being super mindful and intentional of what I'm consuming on these platforms is so healing, because if I just scrolled, especially on Instagram and through like my friends' feeds, like I would really think the world is ending. And it's like, that is the whole point of the mechanisms of control, is to keep us convinced that we're in a state of survival. If we're all always in a state of survival, then we're never in balance. We're constantly just trying to survive, and it's fuck what happens next. It's crazy because we look to past generations and we're always like, well, damn, they were stupid. Like, why would they do it like this? Like, you're supposed to do it like this. But nobody is really sitting down, taking the time, which is why I'm doing it. You're all welcome. But we're not sitting down collectively and taking the time to readjust and to really think about how things should be ran. And I think about this a lot in terms of like climate change, like when niggas were fucking up the ozone because people were burning trash. A lot of the countries I visit, they still burn trash. Here, I'm like, this country is so big, it's actually insane that they're burning trash. But at the same time, what the US does is no better. They just throw it in the ocean. Regardless. If we know that, which is just absurd, that we throw it in the ocean, we act like that's better. It's okay. Just says so much about the eyes and what humans do in terms of having like visual comfort rather than real peace, knowing real peace. If humans knew that burning trash was fucking up the ozone layer, then why are so many people still doing it? I am sure that they know that this is not good for them. it's really just a matter of, well, this is what they did before me. Oh, I don't have enough time. I don't have enough resources. I don't have enough to do something better. So let's just do this. And this is the prevailing mindset of the world. And I would argue that that is hyper masculine. It's about hyper action. I don't have time to think about it. I just do. I don't. And it's also like, yeah, just hyperactive is really what stands out to me from that. And bringing this back to my life, because you know I externalize so well, bringing this back to Rachel, I feel like when I think about like problems like slavery, anti-blackness, sexism, all of these many things, I feel like I must resist, or I must fight. Bitch, there is nobody to fight. There's nobody to fight but my damn self. And really sitting with myself and confronting myself every single time I hold any kind of thought that exploiting a person is okay. I hold any thought that darker people, having darker skin signifies anything about a person, that having a vagina limits anyone in any way. That is the real war. It's not about some nigga being loud on the internet. Like, who cares? Who fucking cares? Nobody fucking cares. Nobody fucking cares. But so all this to say, and then the stubbornness as well, I feel like I'm like, oof, what I'm writing is like really coming for niggas' bread. But it's like when I just really think about the ways of the economy of the world, it's really just, the thing about money is when it is stagnant, it is not growing. When I went to Italy, I saw like this crazy stuff from all over the world. High key all from Africa, because a lot of it is like gold and ivory. I saw a throne made of complete ivory with sketches of like scenes from the Bible in it. It was pretty crazy. And I'm like, my professor is like, it cost so much money to fix this. Like, it fell apart because of World War II or something. And so that's a cost. And then my professor is like, yeah, overall in Italy, like, the country is losing so much money because to upkeep all of these monuments costs so much money. And it just made me think so much about like the inefficiency of conserving wealth. But also, like, there is some movement of wealth. In Italy, it's just a weird place because, like, the mafia high-key controls it all. And then, like, nobody talks about it. Like, if you talk about it, everybody's like, shut the fuck up. And it's kind of like, our world is being run by violent men. That's really just a matter of the fact. Like here in Brazil, my friend was telling me how like the area that I'm in is run by the military, but that like the city centers are not. Like, they're run by, I think he was kind of insinuating like drug lords. In America, that shit is not run by the president. I don't care what y'all niggas say. It is not run by the president. It is run by people trying to conserve their power, but they know that conservation is not inherently profitable. that is not what increases their power. It is the movement of things. It is the movement of energy. It is the movement of money. It is the movement of people. So while they try to stay stagnant in their positions, that requires a lot of moving pieces around them. And so now we just have this world where wealth is essentially being funneled back and forth between people that are in on it with each other. And I keep on saying I'm going to connect this back to stubbornness, so let's try to do it now. I feel like I'm being stubborn to like the warlords. Like it's me and them in the ring, and I'm coming for their ass. You know, I got my ancestors and the spirits behind me, so, and God behind me, so really, like, I know that I'm good, but sometimes I just feel alone in this fight. It makes me feel like maybe I'm just being extra, I'm just being stubborn. But I was listening to the spiritualist talk the other day, and he was talking about how the devil offered Jesus so many things on the mountain, and Jesus would be up on the mountains and shit, and mountain is a metaphor for ascension and becoming in proximity to God. And it's like in this space where one is in communion and proximity to God. Wow, I just be preaching this 30 minutes. When one is in communion and proximity to God, they know that there is nothing, not one damn thing that can be offered or taken away by anyone or anything, including the devil, including humans, whatever. There are no illusions that are worthwhile, because God just is. God is all. And the more I come in tune with this truth, it is attracting other beings and entities and beautiful things that resonate with this truth of just reverence, sincere reverence and love of God. And I mean, it's exciting. I'm like, okay, I'll get married, but marriage could also just represent like contracts, but manifesting finding my divine lover. I love love. I've been thinking a lot. I'm like, I was feeling a bit lonely, like when my girlfriend left the other day. It's like a few weeks now. Oh my gosh, guys, I'm halfway through my trip. It's insane. It's blowing my mind. It's blowing my mind. But it's crazy out here. That just blows me away every time I think about it. When my girlfriend left, which was a fucking month now, that was a month ago, I was feeling lonely, and it's like, I'm not lonely, I'm fine. And it's also normal to want to just engage and interact with humans, and I'm not doing that a lot lately. I forgot why I brought this up. Divine counterparts. But yeah, I'm just learning to feel just so whole and complete in myself, so that when my marriage comes, it's not fucking trying to feel complete. No, bitch, we're about to fucking multiply and replenish the earth. And we're building an empire. It's gonna be dope. Like, yeah, like that wedding in India where Rihanna performed, they got nothing on me. Absolutely nothing on me. bigger, better, just more everything. But yeah, guys, we really have to end slavery. I'm writing about mental slavery. I used to feel like I was so unfree. And when I really think about that shit, I'm like, wow, that's crazy. Because there's niggas that are really in slavery. And at the same time, human beings always have the capacity to uprise. And I think I make a pretty compelling argument for this. I know it's gonna be a hot take. It's low-key like when Kanye fucking said slavery was the choice. And niggas don't like to hear that. But this isn't victim blaming. I love my ancestors. I love my ancestors. They know I love them. And everything happens in divine timing exactly as it should. Alhamdulillah. Mashallah. That being said, you know what? You'll just have to read the book if you want to hear my argument about this. But I'm just like, there are 1 million people enslaved in Brazil. There are 1 million people enslaved in the United States. And let's be real, these are probably underestimates. I'm like, niggas need to be free. And I'm like, the first step is reading. And y'all niggas on this app, y'all are fun. Y'all can read some fucking books. Free your mind, please, and thank you.